Arnold Walker was born at 111 Windermere Road, Woodhouse, on the 15th of April 1952, where he lived until he was 4 years old, when his family moved on to 18 Mid Street, Kells. He was the youngest of 3 children, following his brother Alan and sister Margaret, with Arnold earning the nickname Boxer at 5 years old after he received a pair of boxing gloves and a punch bag as a Christmas present from his uncle Arnold. He wore the gloves every day and the name just stuck. He went to school first at St Mary's Catholic School in Kells, and even at this early age his parents recognised that he had a gift for sport, and by the time he arrived at St Begg's Secondary School at the age of 11, he already had a formidable reputation. Boxer proudly represented the school at every sport. He was captain of all the school teams: swimming, football, rugby league and cricket. Sport was in his blood. The school football team were especially successful, and Boxer was invited for trials at Carlisle United and Workington Reds. At this age, it looked likely that he could be successful at any of these sports, but given the influence of his family and those he looked up to as heroes, namely Kells Rugby League players, his pathway was chosen, and Boxer was soon to play for the Cumberland under-15s. After school, his development in rugby league continued at Arrowthwaite Youth Club, where he also represented Cumberland under-17s, and then made the progression to Kells Rugby League Club, where he was soon part of a very successful under-19s team. He was establishing a formidable reputation, captaining the under-19s and open age teams, and by then was also attracting attention from a number of professional clubs, hoping to entice Boxer away from the amateur game, including Whitehaven, Barrow, Hull Kingston Rovers, Warrington and Leeds. They kept asking, but he kept saying no. He turned down Tom Mitchell 3 times also, but finally, in a lay-by at Grasslet, just outside Maryport, he met Tom and agreed to join Workington Town, signing his name on the back of a cigarette packet in exchange for £750, a considerable sum in 1970. It was agreed that Boxer would play for Kells for the remainder of the season before turning professional with Town the following year. Boxer played a handful of A-team games before making his debut, substituting for Jackie Newall away at Huyton on the 24th of October 1971, scoring the winning try in the final 5 minutes. Boxer's home debut came as a substitute against Castleford the following week, with the programme notes reading, "One thing that has come from the enforced absence of Harry Whittaker is the baptism in senior football of the youthful Arnold Boxer Walker. Still just a boy in years, he appears to have in his makeup a bit of most, if not all, the things that go towards making a good footballer, and particular a good scrum half. This terrier type is going to give a lot of pleasure to the loving followers around here for many years to come." As scrum halves go, Boxer was one of the best, and at one stage in his career, Open Rugby magazine placed him at the top of their prestigious world rankings. He had all the attributes of a natural scrum half: speed, intuition, good hands, and the ability to G up his teammates. Watching Workington Town now was exciting. The action was non-stop and relentless, with Boxer making complex decisions quickly. He lit up the Workington attack, taking the ball at first receiver as the backs and forwards scattered around him. The Town pack followed Boxer obediently, without question. So certain were they that the pass would be delivered at the appropriate time in a perfect spiral, begging to be converted into a telling break. Then there was his defence. He was often described as a robust player, perhaps a phrase employed by cautious journalists with one eye on the laws of libel. He had it in his head that if he didn't do it to them first, they'd do it to him. That was the way he was brought up. If you go into a tackle half-hearted and with your eyes closed, you'll come off worst. And while there were some big forwards, he wasn't frightened of anyone. Boxer enjoyed 9 glorious seasons at Durham Park as Town began to challenge for honours. In 1973, 1974 and 1975 they contested 3 losing Lancashire Cup semi-finals, but gained compensation when they won promotion back to Division 1. They then contested 4 consecutive Lancashire Cup finals, 1976, 1977, 1978 and 1979. Boxer played in all 4, with the most memorable of these being in 1977 when Town thrillingly beat Wigan 16-13 at Warrington. He won the Man of the Match award that day, kicking 2 drop goals and inspiring his team with the kind of dominant performance he had become renowned for. And
nice break by Les Gawley, looking for support, and the support is there to Ian Wright, and Ian Wright in for the first try of the match. Good break. Good football by Wigan. Chance for Walker. He got the pass away to Gawley, and it's in for a try, Ray Wilkins. That was one out of the blue, and it was a very good one by Les Gawley and the scorer Ray Wilkins to make it 6 points to 5 with our little lad making it. Going to have a drop, and it's a 1-pointer. It's Arnold Walker, 4th drop goal. 5 points to Wigan, 9 to Workington with 3 minutes. And goal. Wigan 13, Workington 16. Let's have a look at that. There's the man who did it. There goes the hooter. And if you're a Workington fan, well, you'll be enjoying that moment. And a day that will go down in the history so far as Workington are concerned. And I believe, actually, somebody say it looks they're carrying Tom Mitchell's shoulder high in the middle of the field, and they're never going to get through for this presentation. The players are still, but just on the right, Bill Patterson's had a very good game. And there it is, the moment of glory. It will be a long night in Workington and Cumberland tonight. They came down every form of vehicle. They were here in the final, not here at Liverpool, in the final last year. Went back disappointed. Today they're going back a very happy lot.
Commenting on Boxer in his book, Tom Mitchell wrote, "Best summed up as a tireless, top-class manipulator of the scrum. Not the quietest of players in terms of giving advice to referees and fellow players alike. Just as well that not everything he said was understood by referees. Versatile referee Billy Thompson did. After that momentous achievement by Town, a Cumberland club having the nerve to seize the Lancashire Cup in a splendid final against Wigan, no less, I walked across the pitch in the gloaming with Mr. Thompson after the game, from the scene of jubilation to the official reception. Inquired I, 'Billy, what was all that finger wagging about which you gave to our scrum half?' It had come towards the end of the game. 'Cheeky young man that,' said the ref, who had awarded a kickable penalty to Wigan. Addressing the ref, Walker had said, 'You can do what you like, Billy, but there is no way you can swing this match Wigan's way. We are booked for a fortnight in Benidorm if we win this one, and I'm going, no fear.' The 1978-79 season saw Workington Town achieve what was their best ever position in Division 1 when they won 13 of their 33 fixtures and drew 3 to complete the season in 9th position in the league, which meant that they just missed out on a place in the Premiership playoff, with Boxer the top of the appearances during the season, playing in 30 games. Before the season started, they were invited to take part in the Wigan Sevens competition and duly came away with a trophy. Boxer, of course, was a member of the team. Boxer played in his 4th consecutive Lancashire Cup final when Widnes defeated Town 11 points to 0 on the 8th of December 1979 at the Willows, Salford, which turned out to be his last game for Town. When Boxer was reluctantly placed on the transfer list by Town late in 1979, It was generally thought that he would go further afield, and the question was, which big club would he go to? But in fact, he went to arch rivals Whitehaven in January 1980, amid a blaze of publicity shattering their transfer fee record by tenfold when he joined his hometown club for £30,000, making him the second most expensive rugby league player of his time, and making him a talisman for Haven's new confidence and status in Cumbria Rugby League. Playing in Division 1 for the 1981-82 season, and in a home game versus Hull Kingston Rovers on the 11th of October 1981, he received a serious neck injury that brought the game to a premature end. But amazingly, just 6 weeks later, he was back, finishing the season as player coach, with Haven returning to the lower division at the end of the season. The following season saw Haven achieving promotion again, with Boxer calling the shots from the half-back position. His Haven career may have only lasted 70 games, plus 8 as substitute, but few individuals had more dramatic impact on the club than Boxer, having earned a reputation for being a hard man on the pitch due to his insatiable appetite for battle and fearless style of play, no matter who the opposition. Boxer represented Cumbria on 19 occasions, with his debut for his county being on the 27th of October 1973 at scrum half against opponents Australia at the Recreation Ground. He scored the first of his 8 tries for Cumbria on the 20th of December 1975 against other nationalities at Craven Park, Barrow, with Cumbria winning 21 points to 13. As skipper of Cumbria, he led them to 2 successive championship triumphs in 1981, their first since 1966, and again in 1982, together with a memorable county success on the 8th of October 1980 against the New Zealand Tourists, when he scored the winning try in a 9 points to 3 victory at Whitehaven. Having appeared for Cumbria many times, it was a travesty that he had yet to appear in a Great Britain jersey. His inclusion in the GB team to face the 1978 Australians seemed a formality, but he was overlooked in favour of Steve Nash and then Roger Millward, and later missed out on the 1979 tour to Australia, and it appeared that Boxer's chance for international recognition had gone. His opportunity did eventually come when he was at Whitehaven. A serious facial injury denied him his first test place against the Kiwis in 1980, though he did still recover to play in the 3rd test, becoming Whitehaven's 4th Great Britain test player. It was on 15th of November 1980 that he was drafted into the Great Britain team for the 3rd test against New Zealand at Leeds, and typically he made more tackles than anyone else, 28, as Great Britain levelled the series with a 10 points to 2 win. 3 months later, he made his only other international appearance, also at Leeds, only to find himself on the losing side as England were defeated by 5 points to 1 by France on the 21st of February 1981. Boxer Walker has played professional rugby league for both Workington and Whitehaven clubs, and has the unusual honour of still being loved by both sets of fans despite the fierce rivalry that exists between them. In all, he amassed a total of 294 first-team appearances in the 12 years of his professional career. He was capped 19 times for Cumberland, 8 of these as captain, scoring 8 tries and 12 goals, was capped for Great Britain and England, and played 195 games for Town from 1971 to 1980, scoring 53 tries, 2 goals, 35 drop goals and 198 points. Thank you, Arnold Boxer Walker.